Hi, welcome everyone once again to our new episode in Sihat Beyond The Clinic. So it's me, Dr. Rutresha, and today I have a very interesting guest with us. Someone who's very hangat on internet, hangat on social media. You've definitely seen her in Instagram. You've definitely seen her in TikTok. So without me introducing, I think I would like her to introduce herself. Would you like to kindly introduce yourself, Miss Ling?
This is my name is Kusing Ling, but of course, everybody know me as Aunty HR.
Yes, Aunty HR, the
Yes,
Aunty HR.
Yes, one and only, currently globally.
Oh, globally,
Yeah, globally, it's only me.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So, Miss Ku
You can
Ling.
just call me Aunty. Everybody does it.
Okay,
It's
all right.
my pronoun.
Your pronoun.
Sekarang aunty is my pronoun.
I identify myself as auntie. Okay. Okay, so Aunty HR, so I have a very important question. So a lot of people, just to understand about what you do, right? A lot of people actually don't understand. Of course, I know. I've seen your profile. I've been to your website. I've
What
also
do you
seen.
know? I'm interested to know what you know.
So from what I understand, Aunty HR is someone who has about 20 years plus of experience in HR. Someone who's also into training, all the HR, probably the junior HRs, those who is not up to par on what to understand about HR, law and regulations and all. And I've seen you speaking on a lot of platforms. I recently loved your episode on very enlightening, very enlightening. I love that episode. So yeah, so that's what I know so far. But would you like to also enlighten everyone here?
Well, so far, think correct.
Okay, bagus.
Well, technically speaking, right now, I am a micro business owner.
Wow. Okay.
I own a training provider company that
Okay.
provides HRDC claimable services. But of course, with my current portfolio as in whatever people call me, some call me KOL, some call me influencer.
Correct lah, key opinion leader ma.
Correct. Some call me social media content creator. For me semua sama je lah title dia. Kerja dia sama je. Lacurkan diri saya to public.
Betul. So one of the things that I'm also trying to do right now is lacurkan diri sendiri kepada public lah.
That's the correct way, very strategic way.
Yeah.
And that's how people run business today. Like
Yeah.
Kim Tia sekarang menggalakkan all you entrepreneurs come out to lacurkan diri you, which is correct. It's not easy
Yeah.
to put your face on public.
True. Very true. Very
Right,
true.
just now before the podcast started, right? You
Yeah.
also told me one of your favorite episodes now is I have a love-hate relationship with that podcast. While a lot
With that
of
episode or with
I love the people in
Okay.
they are always lovely. With that particular episode, if you
Okay.
read the comments, there is like two fractions.
oh wow, divided into two lah.
I love Aunty HR, I hate Aunty HR. No, actually, I hate who she is.
Okay, HR, we have to censor that lah.
But it's nice. It's nice to see my audience are expanding.
Yeah, and it's always good. You know. They always say, right? In order to have a place in your heart, it's either you have to love them or you have to hate them. So it's okay lah. They have a place in their heart already.
My political advisor, my PA always tell me,
I know who's your political
you
advisor,
know
by the way.
Okay. So my PA tells me, actually my number one fans are actually my haters.
Exactly, because they follow you more than the people who like
They
you, ma.
follow me. They are so angry till they cannot hold it.
Wow.
Whatever I say, they really felt it. But probably not the way I intended it wanted to be.
Understand.
Right? And sometimes I can totally understand that. When I first took over HR, like back in 2017, I took over HR. My empathy level went from 0 to hero. Because before that, like a lot of you, I was a business head of business.
Okay.
So I was all about P&L. We
chase
had
your KPI lah.
very entrepreneurship role. So all the people who complain about their toxic bosses are saya lah. Very good example.
So it takes one person to identify another.
Yeah. I think a lot of things have changed throughout my career. So during the last, I would say last 9 years of my career, I had the privilege to really immerse myself into HR, and I started to see both sides of things. Because before that, I was always more of a employer point of view, I would say.
Okay.
Because as actually for middle managers, we always have to chase. Like you are an entrepreneur yourself,
Yeah.
right? So you be entrepreneur first, or you be employee first. Like you
Good question.
also,
Actually, you already went into my segment question.
you also an employee yourself, and you also a boss at the same time. So which hat do you wear?
So I have to switch into the hats, whichever medium that I go into. So if let's say I'm going into the space of my own, let's say private practice and all that, I actually have to change my mindset, like, because I know that at that point, the staff they look up to me. They actually look to me for decision making.
Yes, yes.
They actually look up to me when they have some kind of issues, right? So I always understand it in one way, lah. You cannot treat everyone equally. Right. So, I mean, I have staff, let's say I have about 6
But
or
at
7
the same
staff.
time, we also want all of us to be treated equally.
No. Treating equally mean that means I can give everyone equal opportunity. But then not
I
everyone
love
have
that.
not everyone can grab the equal opportunity, ma. I have to be fair to them. In
Yes.
order to understand them fairly and in order to treat them fairly, I have to understand them on a personal scale, and also I have to understand their social history as well, right? So that means, for example, now my doctor, right? My whoever that is coming to me, let's say my staff, right? My staff or my doctor, whoever that comes to me and say that, hey, I actually have this issue. Maybe they have some kind of family issue. Like, how do I address it promptly and how do I address it accurately is because I know they have that issue.
Yeah.
So maybe my other staff don't have. Maybe my other staff, one of my staff, maybe ada anak, okay, got Ashe, fall sick and all that. But it's actually the truth, what? And they actually bring the child to.
This is actually a very heated debate that I see online all the time. I have single people and say that why we must tolerate all these people just because we don't have anak, does it mean we are less important?
No. If they have
And
an
then
elderly.
those with anak pula will say, we are the most stable one, not like the single people can quit and go find another job because they don't have commitment. You see, everybody always have something to say about one another.
Betul. True. So this is exactly where the debate comes back, right? That means if let's say the one with anak, right? I know they got anak that frequently falls sick, so I have to give them a little bit extra chance, lah.
Somebody else will say you're not fair.
Yeah, but yet another person who's single, the single person can also have parents who are ill, ma. I also have to give them the same chance.
That is a very fair argument. I totally agree.
I also have to give them the same chance because doesn't mean that you got child, I see you differently. You don't have child, I see you differently. Cannot.
What if sometimes shit hits the ceiling fan? Both EL at
From the toilet bowl to the ceiling fan, okay.
Both EL at the same time. One parent sakit, one anak sakit. Who gets to go first?
Okay, so this one is an interesting debate lah. So I need to check lah. I usually check the one with the anak. I check, your spouse can jaga or not? Your spouse can
system,
check the support system. Very important. If let's say single mother, how leh? Or single father, how leh?
You brought up a very good question.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I have a lot of followers that come and complain that sometimes when we interview as recruiters, we can be a little bit so invasive about their life.
Betul.
But for me, your support system is very important. Because I think most people need to understand, ultimately, we business owners, we are here to be profitable.
Exactly.
You are hired to be profitable. I said I'm okay to tolerate when emergency happens, but we want to know what kind of support system you have. Like you said, different people have different whatever lah. Everybody has their own dramas, right? Everybody got troubles. Learn that. Everybody has their own troubles, one lah. But how are we managing is very important because ultimately, I don't want to be of the day when I say no to your emergency leave.
True.
When there are critical projects to run during peak period, everybody has to be on their A game.
Yeah. I agree on this. So that comes back to the commitment of the staff. That means whether of course, ma. That means they know, right? For example,
you talk about that. That reminded me. So many warm stories of my colleagues.
So that's the thing. Coming back to the commitment, that means when I give the responsibility of a task to my staff, right? I want my staff to understand why I'm giving the responsibility to you, ma. Because if not, I don't even come and do it. I can do it by myself.
Do you have a crazy story to share about how your staff sacrificed themselves for the company? Ada tak?
Ada.
Come, let's
sangat
see. Come and let's
ada.
share who is the craziest staff.
Okay, so Okay, so I have experience. Of course, I cannot name this organization right now. So the organization that is okay, let's say organization that's called ABC lah.
Okay.
ABC organization. This ABC organization, I used to have
What
about
color?
color.
Okay.
Okay. So this usually my management very crazy management like crazy management to the extent can come and drop the project today, tomorrow must happen. Or drop the project this morning, midnight must execute.
I used to do it.
So
Normally sakit only cari you kan?
Betul. So let's say the previous organization that I was, it was not in acute treating organization.
Not acute.
Okay, that means the organization is not a hospital lah. You tell me, of course I'm empathetical as a doctor, right?
Okay.
You tell me I have an emergency patient coming in, I have to CPR ke, masuk tube ke, masuk darah, okay lah. I come from an organization which is actually looking into public health. That means you create awareness, educating the patients. Of course, we have health screening. We also have other services, but it's not acute treating punya services lah. Okay, it's not acute service, right? So this is actually one project. Like that, they'll come, walk into the building. Okay, I want this done tonight. And then can come and tell in the morning at 8 o'clock. So if let's say the project punya worth is, for example, million. Yeah, like I can count, I can plug numbers, right? Okay, for example, because I don't want to be accurate, ma.
Why you didn't ask your boss? What is this? Prank is it?
So cannot lah. He doesn't accept all that. He usually say cannot.
So what did your
it's my way or zero
what
way.
did your crazy staff do?
So exactly. So now my management come and tell me, okay, you have to get this done tonight. I don't care. I want it done. Usually won't give timeline one. It's usually like Chinaman company lah. Yeah, that's what they say, right? Usually they say got no structure, then suddenly come.
Although Chinaman company normally they refer to being kedekut.
Okay, so usually they come drop in the morning. Then it's up to me lah. I have to. So now I'm the middle manager, ma. Like you said just now, middle manager.
Yes.
I have to make sure my staff execute. I have to sit with them lah, convince them first. Why is it important? Even though I sendiri tak tahu. I don't know why this to me and say he want this immediately. Padahal can take 2 or 3 days, right? So he said, I will actually have to go. Okay, I have to talk to myself. You know what? This is the project. We have to get it done. So usually they know I'm a very empathetical boss, right?
Okay.
So very nice of me lah. Wow. Okay. Okay. So this is the part where my editor gives some music for me lah. Okay, so I'll go and I have to speak to my staff. I'll tell them, you know what, we actually have to get this done. Why? Because end of the day, my motive is very simple. Because whatever that the organization is driving is benefiting to the community, it's benefiting to the B40. All right. So that is exactly the modus that I go and convince my staff. Okay. Right. I go and convince them, and then they will sit with me. Crazy days. I've run a project for 1 year. Okay. It was a huge event. I had to run it for 1 year, day in and day out. My staff have to go. I don't know, like if let's say there was a proper HR law, all of us in the organization already out already lah. All of us kick out. You know why? Because if every single one employee went and complained that they work after working hours, I had my staff who stayed in my office for days. It's not about 1 or 2 staff. I had the whole team.
They believe in the vision, right?
Exactly. They stayed there, tidur, mandi, semua dekat sana. So there are times I also stay back with them.
Of course.
Because I feel like, I have the responsibility. I have to be with my team, right? I don't go back and tidur, nicely and then come back. No, I actually stay back with them. There are days I couldn't stay back. Most of the time they work their right? So when this actually happened, I actually feel very happy because my staff could able to relate to what I'm trying to tell that. Because I put it in a way that, you understand the vision of the organization and you understand end of the day what we are serving. It's not because I know, of course, in terms of management, they can come and drop things like, bombs like that, but you have to pick it up and go lah. So my crazy story is, I didn't have 1 or 2 staff. I had my whole team. I had my immediate team of 15 orang. They know lah. This is for you lah. Okay. All of them usually come, stay back late. They listen to me ranting also. I listen to them ranting also. End of the day, kerja jalan. End of the day, they execute it even when they had their own emergency. Even I remember one of my staff, she actually had to go through a very difficult time. Her father was very ill, going through a very tough time, and then eventually he passed on. But still, then I remember up until the day that he passed on, she still managed to execute her task.
So why do you think all these people are so crazy? Is it because of you or because of the work they really believe in? I also have similar crazy stories.
Okay, sorry, now I want to hear your story.
Huh?
I want to hear. I know my staff; they were very dedicated.
You talk about that. I also reminded me one. If you're talking about funeral, we have one staff. Father just passed away in the evening. Then on the same night, we have an annual dinner.
Okay.
He drove to annual dinner, come and tell the boss. So sorry, boss, I cannot come for annual dinner today because my dad passed away. I was like, what?
Can I just drop that? Just to tell that he cannot make it, he actually drove from the
You
later.
want to apologize in person. I was like, why? No.
So that's very courteous of the staff.
I know, but sometimes I think they're so crazy, they've forgotten that their own self is more important than the company. Or maybe they feel like the company is a place where people matter. Because now you talk about we are family, everybody, the younger generation is super cringe about it, okay? Then I have another incident. I have a staff. You know, a few years back, we have this serious banjir thing happening all over KL, in Hulu Langat, all right?
Especially Shah Alam, right? Sri Muda, Shah Alam.
Yeah, all those places. And one of my staff, it was those crazy story that it covered the roof.
Oh,
her house.
Okay.
In the midst of she trying to bring the whole family to escape.
Cannot escape, then all of them have to...
You only take whatever you can through your hand to run out from the house, right? The only thing she took was the company laptop. Because she said she has to finish up a report to send the client tonight. I was like... supposed to have names. I said,
Okay,
what
we censored that.
Huh?
We censored that. Okay.
I said, it's like... what are you doing?
Yeah.
You should take care of your, I don't know, your wallet,
Document
your family photos or whatever.
Document leh. Like, you know, your...
Who cares about the client report? But you see,
this is how I feel we are very aligned in our thoughts. We are very aligned. I also will feel like end of the day, I mean, hey, if it's an emergency, try to prioritize can.
I know, but we also need to understand why this kind of self-sacrifice. I think sometimes we over-romanticize it, you know. Like, do we have to be to that extent?
Betul?
Then only I be appreciated by the company.
Yeah.
But when I come to think about it, I don't know, because I'm also one of those crazy ones. Then I wonder, like, why am I so crazy? Why do I always put the company first before self?
So why do you think it is?
I don't know. I think we honestly.
Okay, I think to rephrase it,
I can tell you, like me, we have been running. My role was some sort like a business manager. We call ourselves branch managers. We take care of the branch P&L, and then for over the first 13 years of my career, I was a branch manager, and then I take care of the P&L. The business was the utmost most important thing.
Understand.
For me, if the business doesn't run well, I cannot afford to pay out bonus.
Betul?
And that hurts me, you know.
Because, you know, everyone works hard for it. They deserve the bonus, right?
Do or die, the business has to go first.
Hmm.
And they had created me into one of those vicious bosses. Because when business is well, your mood is good, everything is nice, right?
Yeah.
When business is not well,
Stress lah.
it's stress.
Whoever next to me also, my business is not well. And like all of them. Hey, my business is not good. Not good. I'm not getting money. Not good.
I think it's also a generational kind of thing. Like we exes are like that.
Finally someone from the generation actually accepts it. I'm millennial lah.
You don't look ex at all.
Thank you. No, I'm just speaking for behalf of your generation.
You why nearer to the Z or nearer to the X?
I'm not why I am millennial leh.
Why is millennial like that?
Why lah? Sorry. Aiyo, I also don't know leh. I'm nearer to the Gen Z leh actually.
You're nearer to the Gen Z.
Yeah,
which is not bad.
towards Gen Z. So I'm actually closer to Gen Z. I'm more closer to Gen Z.
So you believe in work-life balance lah, although you work your team to death for so many times.
Okay, so actually, I also want to confess leh. I think since you also confessed, right, that you know you were one of those toxic bosses, I also want to confess. I think there are times that I was very unfair to my team. Because there are days that I realized that because maybe it was in my control that I could have controlled it from affecting the team. I know that I could have buffered it better. So maybe your boss want it in 3 days, but then I jadi gila I want it in 2 days. You see, sometimes these middle managers also not entirely correct, not entirely wrong. There are days because I know my team. Because if I tell them 2 days, I'll only get it on the third day.
But as a boss, as a middle manager, it's also your role to manage up.
Yeah.
If bosses give you crazy deadline, it's also your job to say no. Because who are they to say no?
Exactly.
It's your job to say no.
Yeah. So exactly. So that is where I feel like initial days, I think towards the end, I a bit, got the strength already, got the inner strength to say no. Cannot. I know already because there is a point where I already understand what is the strength of my team and what is the weakness of my team, right? So at that point, I know already, okay, this is the part I say no to you. I cannot say all the time. I cannot say yes to you.
Of course.
Yeah. So when I say no, pushback from the management. They don't like, they say, this manager, this person cannot execute one lah. And then they start scrutinizing me as well. So, but then for me, I felt that there was a point I actually grew out of it already. I grew out of it in the sense that, if you're criticizing me for the right reason, I can accept. Because I'm a person, I love critics because that's how you grow. Right? But if it's a positive or a negative critic, and that's the difference lah. You can always criticize me to an extent, but if you are trying to screw me over, then okay lah, too bad lah. And that's when I say bye-bye to the
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. You don't treat us right, we just go je lah.
Yeah, so
Simple.
this is exactly what happened to me and with my team. So yeah, so again back confession that I could have actually said no earlier, but then eventually I learned it. I think it was a learning process, but definitely whatever experience that I had with this company, I had character development. I think I would say character development, how to be a better manager, how to be a better person, and how to be a more empathetical doctor as well. Because that organization taught me how to grow in a rapid way. Because I'm relatively young. I'm not going to expose my age yet. But I'm relatively young. But
Proud of it.
okay lah. We have to expose our age now. Okay, later we censor age.
No, for me it's people always say age is just a number. I say
because I actually got a lot of uban. I should dye
I
my
was
hair.
like, no, darling, age is a number. It's not just a number. In every phase of your life, it means something.
It reflects something.
It reflects something. So the other day, somebody was asking me about ageism since we're talking about age now, right? They were like, Auntie, do you think we are too old? She asked, does ageism exist? And this is a person who is well over 40, you can see.
Okay.
Right? Then I was like, ageism go both ways. People might think you're too old to be something. People also might think you're too young to be a leader.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's true. Age is not just a number. It's a number. At that age is your prime time. So make full use of that number. What does that number bring to brand new?
I think also relating back to you, Aunty HR, I think if you can be young, but you can also bring something to the table where you can be a great leader. You can be super old, but you can still be someone who's part of the team, who can drive the team, push the team up.
Of course.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I completely agree with you. Age is just a number.
For age, normally it comes to maturity.
True.
Because but it's true. When as you grow older, you have seen more.
Experience lah.
You have better. I wouldn't go to the extent of better, but you have the experience. Yes.
Yeah. Since you opened this, I also want to mention something, right? So my ex-boss, I like this session where I talk about my ex-boss. So I hope he's watching this lah. So my ex-boss, right? He used to come and tell me, whatever you do, you come and check with me. You know why? Whatever you have done or whatever you're planning to do, I've done it 10,000 times. So I know it better. So you cannot just simply take a decision.
I love bosses like that. So anything screws up.
Yeah, so end of the day, so you know why? Because maybe you have done it 10,000 times. I agree, you would have done it 10,000 times, maybe 100,000 times. But then end of the day, you have done it 20 years ago. Now, after 20 years, with the current time, with the current changes across in the environment, with the current change of your patients, the people or the community, is it still relevant or not?
But doesn't mean the person is doing it with the method 20 years ago. Like I've been doing the same thing for the past 20 years.
Correct.
But in the past 20 years, how I deliver my results are different.
Has changed already, right?
My knowledge is accumulating.
Correct. True. Exactly. I agree. Because over the 20 years, maybe earlier your medium was different. You would have changed your medium.
So depending on the context of how he delivered. But what if your boss come and tell you this? Okay, Ratesh, this is a very important project for me.
Okay.
I would like to have a say in everything, including the color of the tablecloth. Just run it by me so I can sleep better at night. Okay or not?
Can. Why not?
Why not?
I would love to update you.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if let's say that was the let's say that was the intention, right? That means you say, hey, I just want to be part of this. Just make sure, keep me in the loop.
But inside my heart, I think I can do it much better than you lah.
The one I can't help it lah. The one I can't help it because
and I think for bosses like us, some of the thing that I've learned hard is really letting go. It's something that I could not master for many years, but eventually I managed. And I see how they make the wrong color decision. I just let them be.
And then end of the day, it looks horrible, right?
But it's okay. It's okay.
Bagi your hati, basah sikit, berbunga sikit, apa-apa je lah.
And there are also many times I wanted to step in. I just give it a little bit more time. But when I gave the team a little bit more time, they managed to correct course on their own. And that's how we train them to be a little bit more independent.
Exactly. Again, I think this is also very important. If you don't let them to make their own decision, how would they become leaders?
Actually, I learned this from one of my ex-boss. There was one time, there was a head of department who wanted to hire this particular person.
Okay.
Which we all know might not be the best. Might not be the best choice.
Okay, might not be the best choice.
And it's also at a very high salary. It's very high risk. So my boss said it's okay. We just let the person do it. If it works out, great.
Okay.
If it doesn't work out, she has learned her lesson. So one thing I really appreciate throughout my organization, when they say we are a learning organization, they really practice what they preach. They allow us to make mistakes and sometimes expensive mistakes.
Yeah.
I have lost the company millions before, and yet I did not get fired.
Wow.
Yes.
That's an excellent mindset of a company. Yeah.
And a lot of people also dengki I. Kenapa toxic boss ni? Lost millions cannot get fired. Because he jilat kaki boss, right?
But then end of the day, that is actually an excellent example how a leader should be. That means if you don't learn to make mistakes, or if you, don't learn to make mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then you will never learn it the right way. Because, for example, you're my boss, right? So you make mistake.
Yes.
It's not only you learning, I also learn.
Yeah, of course.
Because I saw you making the mistake within my own experience.
Yeah.
But then, if let's say, because this is as a team, let's say we're working as a team, I've seen you as my boss, you have made the mistake, and then you learn from it. I also learn from you, and also so does my all other colleagues reporting to you, because we learn it together. But let's say you did this mistake somewhere in the past, right? And then you never allow it to happen to me because you just know that it cannot happen. I cannot learn lah. Because I never experienced it, but I have to be in the situation to learn it.
Sometimes we have been through it. We want to give you another view of things. If you chose not to take it, we also respect it.
Correct.
But when shit hits the ceiling fan, I just stand by to come and save you. So many times also. I see people already banging the wall. We already advise, please don't go that direction. They still want to go. Nothing I can do only. I can only make sure.
Bang 3 times, then safety net lah carry.
I make sure before they sampai, I simpan padding. We try to minimize the impact.
You're very nice. I think my ex-boss, no padding, nothing. Free fall. Free fall, you jatuh mampus lah.
Normally this kind of situation happens when you manage up. You already advise your boss. Your boss still want to do it anyway. Then when boss screw up, right? At the end, who have to fix it? Me number 2 have to go in.
Okay, number one already make mistake. Okay, so for example.
But you cannot pinpoint it.
Why you cannot pinpoint?
I have to give boss face.
This is another thing. What is your opinion on boss being the god?
Whether boss want to apologize or not and acknowledge that mistake, it needs to be their choice. We cannot give them instruction, boss, can you please come on and apologize? If you cannot, you get what I mean or not?
Yalah. Because they have ego
We've
materialism.
learned it many times. We try our very best to not correct your boss in public. But you do it
agree.
privately.
Can the boss do the same also? The boss never apologize in private. Always want to show in
Just because boss membabi, kita kena membabi bersama ke?
kada.
That's why lah.
I like this. Just because boss membabi, kita pun tak boleh membabi bersama.
We want to, sometimes not only boss can be a good example or influencers. As employees, we also can behave and try to influence our boss. It's harder, honestly.
But if your boss is memang babi hutan leh.
Then go find another one lah. Don't complain about it and victimize yourself.